effort. Effort. How much effort it takes. The effort is not what is important, which is the first step, but rather the desire to achieve the end. Then the effort follows robotic. The effort follows robotic.
Okay, hi everyone and welcome. Tuning in, it's been some time, not a long time, but some time since the last time we hosted the open session tuning in of the Sacred Sounds. So I want to welcome all of you. Some of you are with us in the practice of that we do every week on Thursdays, 5 p.m. Pacific time. This month, sessions of the month of June is dedicated to work on our heart space. Each session we setting a different intention around clearing energy blockages around the heart. And tuning in and expanding that space inside of us. So I want to dedicate this session of tuning in to speak a little bit about one of the maybe the main goals, the main ideas, the main purpose behind the practice of sacred sounds, and I want us to experience some of it. So one of the ideas for so many of us, it is the idea to tune in to the voice of our soul. Now, when it comes to manifestation in life, I believe that most of the world has the desire, maybe in different levels, to manifest something in their lives. It might be a relationship, it might be business, it might be an idea, it might be for themselves, it might be manifesting something for others, it might be manifesting healing. But one of the foundation as far as understanding the journey of our soul It is that the seed level of manifesting anything real in your life, it is operating from the voice, from the calling of your soul. You see, so our mind is in a state, our mind is in a state of being constantly stimulated by so many things. And I don't think really it is about only the generation we're living in, but maybe in our generation it is more challenging to find stillness from all the ways that the world operates and works with the infinite information. And I'm not talking just about the online social media, infinite information that travels in the space, that affects all of us in levels that we're aware of and in many levels that we don't have any awareness about. Right now, wherever you are, there are probably millions of invisible waves, radio waves, and all sort of waves in your space that contains information. And it is true, in order to access that information in the level of where your brain is aware of it, you need maybe your phone just to capture the wave and then to access. But without you using any device, just being aware that right now in your space there are probably millions of waves, invisible, contain so much information. And the idea is that even when you walk in the street, wherever you live, we never really walk in empty space. The space contains so much, not only energy in the spiritual level, but energy in the physical level. So our brain is constantly being affected by all that information that exists around us. One of the ideas that we speak often about in Sacred Sounds, it is that this is a practice to help you train yourself to gain more control over that, what we call the mind. Now, the mind is operating in the levels according to what your brain allows it. The way I look at it, it is you have the software and you have the hardware. You have a program and you have the computer. And I look into the brain as the computer, and the mind, the consciousness, that can be very expensive consciousness, but if you put a very advanced program in a limited computer, it will not be able to manifest itself. You will not be able to utilize the real power that exists in that level of mind. So the way we look into those states of the brain, we look into the brain waves. So when we look into the most, I call it external, the part, the state that is with the least alignment with the internal, most advanced program that exists inside of you, which is your soul. So the least, the most far from that level of your soul, it is when the brain operates on the beta state, which means 14 to 30 cycles per second when we speak about the brain waves. To be able to begin accessing the voice of your soul, and going back into what I mentioned before, because when we have the desire to manifest something, if it is not in alignment with the soul purpose, it doesn't matter what it is and how it is going to look like, it will not have the ability and the power to manifest that fulfillment inside of you. So anyway, we work very hard in life, so why not to work in the direction of manifesting fulfillment that is connected with our unique vessel? But in order to do that, we must manifest first a connection with the true calling inside of us. So the idea of manifesting our true calling and aligning with our soul's purpose, which is something that anyone who is seeking for more meaning in life or fulfillment in life will look for. The Sacred Sounds meditation practice is a powerful tool to help the individual to begin deepening the connection, the ability to manifest that level of alignment with the deeper level of that, what we call the soul, the true voice that exists inside of us. And when we connect with that level, and it is about practice, I will speak about it few more minutes. It's about practicing. It is not a quick fix thing to do meditation and things happen. Yeah, it can happen, but to create a real connection and alignment, it takes practice. So the idea is when you do reach a deeper state of connection with that voice of your soul, this is the space where healing, where transformation begins to happen. This is the space where we can begin to attune ourselves to higher states of consciousness. Now, the ancient Kabbalists teach that sounds, when we're going back even in history, King David would use sounds to open up the channels, spiritual channels for prophecy. But we know that many of the ancient Kabbalists would use the idea of sounds, the sounds of the Hebrew letters, the sounds of unique musical instruments, to open up the spiritual pipelines to connect with what we call Ruach HaKodesh, divine inspiration, to open up the pipelines for clear messages. What back at the time was known as prophecy, today none of us is a prophet. However, we all can open up the channels to receive clear messages. And this is whatever we call the prophecy of our time. Just clear messages. And the clear messages are not coming from the outside. They're coming from deep within you. but we need to do some work to clear whatever it is that is blocking it, right? Our connection with those pure spaces that contain all the wisdom and all the healing that we need. So the ancient Kabbalists were using and teaching that sounds have the power to clear energetic blockages and the power to promote a sense of harmony and alignment within ourselves. So by engaging with sacred sounds, with this practice, our intention, it is to create a conducive environment for, first of all, self-reflection. Our mind is too much busy with everything that happens outside. Self-reflection, which is very important, again, as a tool, as a guide in the spiritual work of any of us. The second thing, it is inner exploration. Being an explorer, constantly looking for deeper levels of yourself. Even if not every day you will find them, but being in that state of exploring and searching, it's one of the most powerful, simple directions to allow a new level of revelations, wisdom, and clarity to become awakened inside of you. And this leads to accessing deeper aspects of ourselves. So clearing blockages through sacred sounds, through the practice, is a way to remove any obstacles, any of the limitations that might hinder any of us from fully embracing our true calling. So the practice invites anyone that is using it to let go of limiting beliefs, letting go of negative patterns. Many times we live without even paying attention in certain loops in life. Letting go of those loops, of those negative patterns, and all type of emotional baggages that we all carry in some level, that probably were accumulated over time. And in Kabbalah we learn it is not just about this lifetime, but many lifetimes. And by this, to create a space for clarity and for deeper connection with our soul purpose. Now, I mentioned it before, and it is important for me again to emphasize the idea that it is important to keep in mind that what we do in Sacred Sounds, it's not an instant fix. Like anything else that you want to connect to in a real way, it takes practice. It takes dedication. Not everyone has the energy that it takes, the patience, the mindset, the priorities. But when you think about the ultimate idea that we shared at the beginning, to connect with my true calling, what are you truly willing to do to be able to open those gates? And I'm not saying that Sacred Sounds is the only way. However, I do recommend that if you really desire to open up that kind of a pipeline, to be in a direction of operating life from your soul calling, find a practice. I definitely invite you to try the weekly sessions of the Sacred Sounds. But it's not about that. It's about you finding your way. If it's not Sacred Sounds, I would recommend you to find a different practice, but something that will help you. And it takes the dedication. So it takes some process. Some people, they already in that state in their, it's not about in life, it's about the spiritual journey, in some phase that they feel it, they're ready for it, and they have the dedication and the commitment, but even just to begin to practice, to give yourself kind of the chance to see how it's going to affect you. I believe that you will find many surprises in this journey. So, manifesting our true calling involves a process. And nobody likes process, right? Everyone wants just a quick fix, instant solutions. Anything real takes a process. Process does not mean time, by the way. You can go through a process very quickly, but the mindset of a process, the mindset that there are phases I need to go through internally, that again they can take in a very, very quick time without, it's not about time in the spiritual level, it's never about time. Time does not really exist in the form that we use time in the physical dimension. But there are phases. So it takes practice, it takes dedication, and as I mentioned, manifesting our true calling involves with this type of a process of self-discovery, introspection, personal growth, and absolutely taking practical steps towards your goals, that you decide what are your goals. Each individual path is unique, and when it comes to finding clarity about our soul calling, it requires that type of a combination of inner work, of self-awareness, of deep exploration, of patience, of self-compassion, and maybe the most important thing, an open heart. So I want to allow you to taste, just to feel what we are talking about. One of the two frequencies that I use in all of the sacred sounds, meditations, practice, there are the 7.83 hertz, which is known as the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance, I'm preparing it for you now so you will be able to hear it. It is simply sound, simple as it gets. Hertz, when we speak about hertz, we're talking about the speed of the waves per second. So this one specifically, it's 7.83. The Schumann resonance is known as the heartbeat of the planet. Now, in a simple term, this is something scientific that was, revealed by a scientist. His name was Schumann. This is why they called it the Schumann resonance. And the idea of the heartbeat of the planet, it is a frequency which is connected and promotes the vibration of nature. Now, if you can take a moment, you don't need to imagine too much, but take a moment and just bring your mind into that space of what the nature, when you're in the nature, in the ocean, the mountains, in the hike, what does it make you feel? A person doesn't need to be super spiritual to feel the purity of creation in the nature, to feel the healing powers in the nature, to feel the limitless possibilities when you're in the nature. Something opens up inside of us. In the thought level, in the heart level, in the body level, we can feel it in so many dimensions of ourselves. When we provide the 7.83 hertz, this sound, to the brain doesn't need what usually we think we need. I need to understand the brain doesn't need that. When you provide the right frequencies to the brain knows right away where to go. And this is what's beautiful about it. All what we need to do, it is just to allow. Of course, more intention you put in the practice, the experience will be amplified. But I'm taking it even to the extreme. Someone with no intention, just having the 7.83 hertz, the sound being provided to the brain, it is already begin to shift the vibration. Begins to bring you into a deeper level of alignment with the most pure nature that exists within you. The second, if you have headphones, it will be easier for you to hear it and to feel it, even though it's not really about feeling, because the work is happening in the brain level, but many can feel it. But don't judge yourself if you don't feel anything. So if you have headphones, I recommend to use them. Let me play it for you. You can close your eyes just for a few moments. So simply close your eyes and begin bringing your attention into your breath. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath. And slowly, slowly exhale through your mouth. The second frequency that I use in all of our sessions, there are many frequencies, but there are three that I use in all of our sessions. But the second one, it is 174 hertz, which I call it the energy tuner. Any part of our energy in the mind level, in the heart level, in the body level that went out of tune, out of balance. 174, it is a frequency that I use to promote and to realign, to restore that balance, deeper alignment within ourselves. This is the 174 combined with the Schumann resonance. Closing your eyes and bringing your attention into your breath. Okay, if you open your eyes, this is the tuning fork that I use, 174. All the sounds, I record them in my studio, but this is the live sound. Another sound which promotes and makes it easier to the brain to slow down at the first phase and to enter into alpha state. I would always bring the sound of nature. In each session it will be different, but this is one example. In each session, while we begin with the frequencies, I will guide step by step the process to slow down the brain waves. And this will take around 15 minutes. Just the first step of slowing down the brain waves. And in each session there is a unique sounds and music that I compose, and I mix it live in each session. It depends on the energy center we're working on. So each energy center has different vibration, different color that is related to the energy center, different musical notes. So this is an example. In each session we setting an intention, and then we work on allowing clearance of energy blockages and an expansion of the energy in whatever part, energy center we're working on, with a unique intention that we set at the beginning. Delving into deeper spaces of mind, and as the brainwaves slowing down, you begin to reach the alpha, the theta, and some can reach even the delta state. And from those spaces, the magic begins to happen. So after the slowing down the brainwaves, the guided meditation, we use the names of God to open certain portals. We invite the support from the supernal spiritual dimensions of souls of what we call tzaddikim, righteous, and the archangels, and the light of the Creator. And then each session I allow just being in a quiet space without me guiding, continuing to do the work. And then slowly coming back into our physical space, into our physical body. So the long session usually takes an hour, but this 1 hour goes very quickly. When you are within this space, you don't feel the time. Okay, yeah. So we're having our weekly sessions. This month we started having a unique and special session for the new moon of Cancer, and I'm preparing another session for the new moon of Leo. So any of you would like to join, just keep in mind, I will post all the details in our WhatsApp community chat of the Sacred Sounds. I want to thank all of you for joining and being in this space. I want to wish you all an amazing weekend and Shabbat Shalom. And I hope to see more of you joining our space. Thank you so much, everyone.